Good morning, you guys. We're pumped to have you on. Got some real cool things to talk about today as we've been digging through the test net and looking at different things. It's the Money Talk Show with Dane, where we talk about topics relating to money here. If those are topics that are interesting to you, then you're in the right place. Specifically, we talk about crypto and real estate here. So, welcome. We're pumped to have you aboard. We're doing our best to be the bridge between real estate, entrepreneurship, and crypto because we feel like crypto is the biggest opportunity over the next few years, and it's not even going to be close. So, once again, we're pumped to have you guys along. Corey, go ahead and take it away.
Absolutely. Crypto Millionaires with Corey Geary here. And we're just so excited to bring you guys the latest and greatest on everything that's pulse chain and going on in the crypto ecosystem. Because, like you said, this is going to be the opportunity of a lifetime. Getting into crypto right now is just the best chance that you have to change you and your family's trajectory of your financial just legacy wealth. It's going to be amazing. And so I'm just super excited. Going to have a good time. I'm a little under the weather today, guys, but I'm going to do my best to come at you and bring you this news. Dane had found an absolutely astonishing Easter egg in the V4. Well, it's still kind of V3. The V4 stuff is rolling out, but I don't think the V4 is actual out until they change the validator set. But absolutely amazing Easter egg. We're going to discuss that today. I don't know if you saw, Dane. Ivan on Tech was shilling EPhiat. So EPhiat pumping today, which is awesome. And and everyone thought Ethereum was in a dump with the Shanghai news or the Shanghai on staking. And I had a feeling it wasn't going to. Me and Gamma had many conversations about this, and he really felt like it was not going to be any kind of dump whatsoever, which is really bullish and good for crypto as a whole. So,
Right.
yeah, man, why don't you talk a little about the Easter egg you found, man? That is some fire stuff. A lot of the people are like, oh, what is the incentive token going to be for? It's just going to be a done token. There's no use case for this. It's going to be like, I guess, how on Pancake Swap you get, what is it? Is that cake that you
Yep.
get on Pancake Swap for the incentive? And it's just a forever down kind of token. But man, you found something cool. So go ahead and share.
Yeah, let's do it. Can you see my screen all right?
We can.
All right. So last night at 4 o'clock my time. Right now it's just after 10 o'clock my time. So what is that? 12. Is that what? 4 5
12,
6.
12 p.m. Eastern Standard or
No, so we've been, what is that? That's 12 plus 6. So
how
we've
many
been going
hours?
on
Yeah.
on 18 hours now. And it was interesting. So I came in, here I am on testnet with my test wallet. I was just playing around. I took what was yesterday roughly $200,000 that I split between the incentive token and Pulse X, and I put them in a pool here. And I'm providing liquidity right now. Let me refresh this. And the APY in this pool is just stupid. It's the highest APY pool that there is in the farms right now on testnet. And I wanted to see, I just wanted to play around and kind of see what some of my results would be. And I think it's really interesting when you compare this to version 3 of Uniswap and providing liquidity. They're really two fairly different games.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So here on PulseX, this is version 2, if you will, of Uniswap, where providing liquidity, you don't have concentrated liquidity where you can go and put your liquidity in a specific range. And rather, you just dump it all in here. And according to, price action and people in and out of the pool, you earn fees, you earn rewards. And right now, this pool is doing, you can see it's now, once again, this is just test net, so we're, who knows how these numbers will play out on mainnet. But right now you can see, or about 1300% APR is how this pool is projecting right now. So I put in about $200,000 worth of Pulse X and incentive token yesterday, and you can see in about 18 hours I've made $7,600. Once again, this is all fake. It's testnet. I know. Guys are going to come in the chat and say, you guys, it's just testnet. Now I get it, right?
But I think this is Richard Hart or the dev team. It might not even be Richard Hart. It could be the dev team. Them planting some seeds, an Easter egg to tell us, hey, there's going to be some use case for this incentive token. There's going to be some utility for this. We are going to make sure that it's going to be used versus just a dump forever token. Because, I mean, why would you not hold on to your incentive token, pair it with some of your other favorite assets? If you're going to be receiving 1,200, 1,300, 1,500% APY, I mean, I freaking love those numbers. I mean, we are in this game not only for gains. I mean, gains is obviously a great thing, but we love the passive income, especially me and you, Dane, coming from the real estate space. The
Right.
passive income really speaks to us, and we just resonate with that. And that 1,300%, man. But you guarantee you, I'm going to set aside, at least in the beginning. I know it's going to be very volatile in the beginning, and there's going to be a lot of instability. But when things kind of level out, I'll set aside a bag of maybe a Pulse X, maybe even some Pulse, depending how much I have, and pair it with the incentive token, and be doing this if these numbers end up being what is reflective on mainnet.
I
Um,
mean, and we're talking in USD here, but I mean, essentially, if these numbers were real, you could make back all of your money in 27 days, which is pretty, which is crazy, which is crazy.
yeah,
Now,
so
once
like
again,
you're
I know it's testnet. I get it. So I'm not necessarily expecting, this type of APY on mainnet. But the thing that Corey had pointed out as we were talking about this last night, what is the utility to the incentive token? Well, the utility could be that pairing it with some of these other assets, those are the pools that gave you the highest APR. It gave you the best return. And you can see here, and once again, we feel like this is potentially an Easter egg. Mainnet, we'll have to see how this plays out. But you see the highest APR pools right now. They're pairing the incentive token with Pulse Chain and Pulse X. And if you guys are familiar with Hart's Law, where Richard Hart talks about bonding assets and liquidity, it makes it so that they move together in certain respects.
yeah.
And so if you could pair incentive token with Pulse Chain and Pulse X that we all feel like are going to do very well in the long term, then theoretically the price action on those assets would pull the incentive token with it in some respect. And gosh, so you might be able to get some decent appreciation out of it, plus some really juicy returns. I mean, imagine if, and once again, I get that it's testnet, but imagine that if you really could make your money back in USD for what you put into one of these pools, you could make it back in roughly a month or so. Well, at that point, you can let this thing ride. You can take your money back out and do whatever you want with it. And so, if we really do see some pretty crazy numbers, I understand the volatility is going to be nuts, but if you come in and you use a tool like this, then I think you have to use it in such a way where you're framing it in your mind and you're saying, look, you're gonna leave money on the table with impermanent loss. You absolutely are. But gosh, the reason that APRs could be so high initially is to incentivize people to come in and put money in the pools. Because
100%.
if the volatility is really high and you're going to get slaughtered in impermanent loss and you're not having high APRs, then you're just not going to have as many people come into those pools. And so, if it's juicy like this, or it doesn't even have to be this juicy, but if it's juicy on mainnet, I'd take just a really small position, maybe 5 or 10% of my holdings, and put them in a pool and just test it, see how it goes, see what you like, and you could determine what to do from there. But gosh, I think the play really is to find ways that you could generate passive income so that you could use that passive income to be able to continue to build your bags. So I'm interested. I'm curious if they're giving us some clues here.
Yep, I think they are, man. So it's just going to be amazing. It's just one more tool for the tool belt to create that passive income. And man, me myself, I'll be compounding, right?
Yes.
I'll be massively compounding. This also with the Pulse X staking, the single side staking with the third party tokens. I'll be compounding that. I'll be compounding this. And it's going to be awesome. The only thing you really can't compound is, I guess, our node validator, because that one, the rewards get collected inside the actual node validator before we unstake them. But even then, we can unstake that and maybe once every 6 months, recompound it and rinse and repeat. So compound is the name of the game.
Oh, the compounding is bonkers. In fact, we're going to have, you guys have to tune in next week. In fact, I just scheduled with a dude named Crypto Kong that was on a stream last night with RH Max. If you guys didn't see RH Max last night, you're interested in compounding your bags, you like the icosahedron system, go check out that stream yesterday. It was excellent. And Crypto Kong got on. I love spreadsheets and data, and he had the spreadsheet where he's showing, hey, like if you go and you got 5 to 10 wallets of the minimum hedron, and you compounded that over the next couple of years, even with ICOSA price not necessarily going parabolic or even seeing a drawdown in the bear market, you could go and make a living wage off a very small investment now and compounding it over the next couple of years. So really interesting there. That was cool to see.
Yep, absolutely.
Red Squirrel asked a good question.
You know I'm gonna be relying on you to go to Tetra and build out the most craziest compounding techniques or methods that you could think of with that brain of yours. And I'm gonna be one of your users of Tetra and your protocols that you're gonna be building out in there. So I'm excited for what you're building in there. But yes, Tetra will be a great way to do the compounding for you, so you can be automated and you can go live your life, and it would do it for you. And so super bullish for that protocol when that launches. Hopefully Stu Man gets that out not too long after Pulse Chain launches. Would be a lot of fun. I think he was saying it's gonna be like, it might be around 6 months or so that they're out, and you can correct me on that, Red Squirrel. I know you're more involved in the ecosystem than we are, but we're definitely excited for it.
Yeah, I think he said we're looking at like late summer. So depending on when you think Pulse Chain could launch, yeah, it'll be interesting to see the timing of that.
I've been waiting for the freaking Tetra chart to take a dip, and it hasn't done it, man. It's we're about like 8 or 9 days in from the launch, and it just hasn't dumped. I'm waiting for the law of meme coins to do its thing on that chart, and it just hasn't done it yet. I'm like, come on, I need a dip so I can buy in.
Right. I feel the same way. Let me see. I'm on Twitter right now. Let me see if I can find Ivan on Tech's
his little shield game on EPhiat.
Well, I don't think. I mean, according to the video, I don't even think he was trying to do it on purpose. He just has. So if you guys haven't seen it, Ivan on Tech has a tool. I haven't even used it. I found out about it more recently, but he has a tool where apparently you could go in and you could find. You're supposed to be able to find good assets to buy, or good cryptocurrencies that you could consider buying, and literally EPhiat popped up in I think it was like top 5 on his tool that he was showing. It popped right up top 5. I think I found it here.
I'm in love with EPhiat. I will not be playing the traders game with that on that particular protocol, because I feel like you could get left behind really quick. Once Buck Fiat launches the protocol, be careful if you're trying to trade that around. I think you can get left behind.
I think that's a good point. Yeah, let me share my screen here really quick. All right.
And it's these little micro cap gems like EPhiat, Tetra, other protocols being built in the ecosystem that really could take off. In my opinion, this is not financial advice, but it's these small little projects that really can do the 100x, even 1000x in the next cycle, because they launched with so little economic energy, and they have a lot of room and potential to grow. So you just don't know.
Right, agreed. So here's Ivan on Tech. If you guys aren't familiar with him, he's a Richard Hart advocate. He's got a massive following, but he's not a maxi. And he's got some cool things going on. So here he is on his stream. I'll play this. Can you hear it?
We cannot, Dane. You might have to do when you're doing the screen share. There might be an option for sound.
Hold on. Let me try one more thing. Present, share screen.
Benny Blanco, it is out yet. The protocol is not out, but the coin itself is out. You can buy it. Just you can go and stake it and earn more Tetras, from what I understand. Like I said, Red Scroll no more than I do, but the coin is out. So I'm watching the chart like a hawk.
All right, let's see if you can hear the audio now.
If you ever are doubting, where should I
Can you hear it
buy?
or no?
What
Yes.
buy? It's super easy now. Now you just click here. What is this? EPhiat? No clue what the hell it is, but it is on 1inch, and 1inch will always show you this warning. By the way, if it's a token that they don't recognize, that is not on their standard list, and most of these tokens here on Morales Money, they are low cap. I mean, depends on how you search. If you
You
search
can see
like
it's
this, like I
fifth on
have,
his list
when we
here.
search for new coins, they are all gonna show you this warning because they're all not on any official list. So normally DEXs, they protect their users by having.
So that's essentially all that it is. So he was talking about essentially stumbling upon a few people. Somebody picked up that Easter egg. They're stumbling upon him sharing EPhiat. And it looks good, man. The price chart on EPhiat's looking strong so far.
It is. Here, I'll share it with you. I've been keeping an eye on it. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
I think this is the Ivan pump. I really do. This is the Ivan pump. But while we're here, let's take a look at the. While we're here, can you guys quit buying this, please? Red Squirrel, stop. Like, this is Tetra. Like, what?
Jeez.
Where's the law of meme coins on this B-Roots? I need this to dump down in here, please.
Right. Right.
Somewhere in here. Jeez. Tetra.
It's interesting though. If you would have played the law of meme coins here on your 5th or 6th day and taken profits, you'd have done well.
Yeah. Red Squirrel, if you don't mind dropping in the chat, I would love to know what you guys got in for with the sacrifice back in the day. I think it was for the R1 or R2. I can't remember that initial round. What was your cost basis? I would like to know, like, what you guys are up on. If you don't want to share that, it's fine. But it would be interesting for me to know so I can go back and, it just helps my buying thesis. So.
Yep. Absolutely.
But yeah.
And Red Squirrel says, yeah, so 10% of the Tetra supply is available to buy now, staking in about a week, main protocol launch in August. In fact, Red Squirrel and Sloth is here as well. What's up, Sloth? We'd love your guys' feedback. So Corey and I have been trying to figure out how to play that one. I'm having a hard time seeing the staking make a lot of sense into August. I mean, I think there's a lot of opportunity to potentially get gains elsewhere, especially if we get Pulse Chain launch in the next, call it 60 days or so. I mean, we might have a really nice pump to be able to get a better gain on dollar for dollar rather than being staked in the Tetra pool. And man, it's got to pull back, right? It has to pull back. If it's not going to launch till August, I mean, July or August, I would think it's got to pull back.
You would think, because that's usually what you see. You see like the boredom in the chart will come. Like people just like, and then they start dumping. And so, yeah, we'll see.
Boss says, just wait for the other 90% to come. Yeah.
Okay, I wonder how's that coming out though? Is that all coming out through the staking protocol? I'm imagining.
I think that, yeah, and Sloth and Red Squirrel, you guys comment, but I believe that it's just the 10% that's available as part of the staking. That's what's available on market now to be able to like buy and trade with.
But then
then I think the other 90% isn't available until the protocol launches. But I might be mistaken.
It's not the staking rewards that's given.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. I'm not sure. Yeah, they got to dip into some of that, I would think.
To reward you for holding.
And those pools are only short term, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's only 6-ish months in that pool.
Staking and more airdrops. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He says the cost basis was around 3 zeros and a 1.
Oh, I like Pulse.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right. I see any dip, man. I mean, I probably won't go heavy because I'm in the same the thought camp that you are, Dane. Like your economic energy could probably maybe experience some more gains when Pulse Chain launches for sure. But I definitely want a little bit, man. I want to put a little bit in there and stake it, and so I'm gonna be watching that chart very closely.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. We also have who was it? Isaac. So I don't know if you guys.
Yes.
Peter McCormick and Eric
Right.
Hall did a stream. I think it was yesterday, right?
Yeah. Did you see Sami's response on this? My
I
first
saw that he came out with a video, but I haven't watched it
amazing.
yet. Was it good?
Amazing. Yes.
Okay.
He nails it.
I thought it was, so let me pull this up. It's just like, it's fascinating to see how things in the Richard Hart ecosystem live. They just are taking up headspace.
Right.
So this was,
Good way to put it.
let me,
You guys, while he's doing that, smash the likes, please, and hit the bell notification to help our algorithm so we can keep bringing you guys the best Pulse Chain content as possible.
all right, let me show you guys. So this was fun. This was compliments of Hibbit Hex. So
Of course.
share this. Of course, she's all over it, man. It's
Yeah, she's got a dev friend, bro.
Yeah. Yes, she does. So here they are. It's just a few minute clip. Let's
Go
watch.
and hang out with him. I just want to go and have a lunch. I want to go and hang out with him.
Can you hear it?
I just want to have a lunch with him. No cameras, no
Talking about
microphones.
Richard Hart.
I
here.
just want to talk to him.
Trevon or Richard Hart?
Richard Hart.
I actually got stuck in an elevator with Richard Hart not long ago.
I heard it's a scam. I'm not sure. Richard Hart seems like a good guy. He seems like he's got great taste in fashion. Seems like he really cares about the financial system and the problems within the banking sector and the Fed. And he seems like he's designed a cryptocurrency that can fix this. I've heard this is a rumor.
You know, he said there's going to be tons of bugs in Ethereum. It's going to be unusable. They don't know how to build this. We're going to do Pulse Chain, and it's going to be much better. And now he's just copy pasting Ethereum, and it's not better at all. It just comes out later, and all the upgrades that they are getting is downstream from Ethereum. That is, and they raised $1 billion for this. That is a scam.
And are those wallets essentially his, and he owns that?
Oh yeah.
ETH?
Oh yeah.
So he is now.
And some of them are in stable coins also. So they're actually like stable coins for hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars.
So he's either worth hundreds of millions or maybe a billionaire.
Yeah.
I mean, it's impressive, even if it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Can I tell you a little story about Richard Hart? He tried to troll me, and it was fucking brilliant what he did. I actually respect this. So when I was trying to buy Bedford Football Club, he reached out to them when he heard about it and tried to buy a sponsorship at the stadium and call it the Hex.com Stadium. Okay. So when you say it's all collapsing, does it really matter to him? He's that fabulously wealthy.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't think that. Richard has said it himself that, you know, in terms of how much you can upgrade your lifestyle, there's diminishing returns. So he has the best stereo, like he has the best sound, he has the best TV, he has the best things. So how much happier is he gonna become from another 100 million? The thing that he cares about is the adoration from the people around him. I left the Hex community.
Left it? You were in it? Was that a slip of the tongue? Were you a Hexagon?
I got sucked in. No, I wasn't a Hexagon, but I got sucked in.
What? Wow.
Yeah.
What is Pulse Chain like their Ethereum?
Yeah, so Pulse Chain was supposed to be, what he promised was that he was going to fork Ethereum, but it was going to be faster, and it was going to have proof of stake before Ethereum had it.
Yeah.
So it was going to launch before, and it was going to have more scalability, and it would have faster blocks and all that. In the end, they weren't able to launch Pulse Chain before Ethereum. Now it's launched after Ethereum, and
it has launched.
Oh, sorry, there's a test net for it.
Does it work?
Barely. So the window up they tried to get into this when the fees in Ethereum were extremely high. That's when they started. Now the Ethereum fees are low, and now they have this clone of Ethereum, which there isn't really a purpose for anymore. And they've also, instead of making Ethereum better, which was the thing that they were going to do by making blocks faster, now it's just a carbon copy.
What's Pulse X?
Pulse X is like a Uniswap application that runs on top of Pulse Chain. So the same way that Ethereum has Uniswap. So that's just one application, also raised $1 billion.
A separate $1 billion.
A separate $1 billion
And is that a separate $1 billion for Richard?
for Richard.
So he probably has multiple billions of dollars.
Man, Eric sure knows a lot about Pulse Chain and Pulse X for thinking it's a bunch of garbage.
He's obsessed. I promise you. He's obsessed with Richard. He's obsessed with the ecosystem. He's obsessed with the community. And the only way he's able to express it is by trolling.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. So a few really interesting points there. I think that, one, frankly, I think Richard has a lot to prove still. Like, I think that he does. You see the people, like this interview where they're saying the test net, it barely works, which, it works fine, but certainly it came out. I think there was a lot that everybody was left wanting for initially. And we're seeing them scale those tools and things in over time. So I'm not worried about it at all. But
he launched the minimal viable product on the test net is what that was. And then he was scaling into the features as we're moving along. And of course, that's what it is. It's a test net. We got to figure out, is there things we need to fix? For example, the validator rewards. I'm glad he's fixing that because we're going to be validators. Like, come on, like we want to get paid to hold the network up. And so, so, with the whole like, what is he talking about? Ethereum's gas fees are fixed. Are you kidding me? I was buying, I can't remember what I was buying over the weekend. I was buying some over the weekend. I was paying $35 a swap on Uniswap and gas. How is the guy who makes 40 grand a year, who's only able to put in 5 grand a year when he goes into the ecosystem, right, of crypto, where like literally 10% of his bag is going to be gone and eaten up out of that? Like it's not usable for the small guy. Ethereum is not. And it's only going to get worse again when the bull market really returns.
Right.
It's only going to get worse. We're still in a bear market, guys. We're not off to the races quite yet. And
well, when it was wild a few weeks ago, I spent $100 for a swap when the stablecoin fiasco happened and stuff was losing its peg. I mean, I paid $100.
So what's Eric Wall talking about?
Yeah.
Plus, we are quicker. We have 10-second blocks versus 14-second blocks, which is what Ethereum has. Okay. And it does have more throughput. And it is going to be extremely cheaper because of the 1.2 million dilution pulse to Ethereum. It's
fractions of a penny to transact over there.
And I have had so many different, not arguments, but discussions with people, how us waiting for the ETH 2.0 was the best decision that Richard Hart has ever done, that we will be able to scale and get every upgrade that ETH gets is a net positive, not a net negative, how Eric Wall was kind of presented there on the podcast. It's a net positive. We are the only blockchain that is forking ETH 2.0. Only blockchain.
Up to this point, right?
Up to this point, correct. But I even think, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong, someone could correct me in the chat here, I even think the X1 chain is forking BSC and not forking ETH 2.0. And so for me, it's all around bullish that we're going to have first mover advantage on that.
Gotcha. This is a great question. Yeah. Where can we buy Terra? Red Squirrel nails it. You can go to Uniswap. It's paired with LUSD right now.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, and absolutely wait for the bull market for those ETH fees. I think we'll be multiple hundreds of dollars to do a swap come 2024, 2025. I think it's going to be wild.
Yep. It makes it just uninvestable for the small guy, and think about the gains compounded out of those gas fees that you pay. What if you're investing in a project that does 1,000x, right? And you don't have a lot of economic energy to put in there. You only have a few $100s, and then you're spending $100 to get into the project. Well, that's 100. That's 100 times 1,000 now that you just lost.
Right. I thought it was really interesting that because the Peter McCormick, I went back and watched some clips from the Peter McCormick, Richard Hart interview or debate, if you will. it was brutal. Like the two of them, they they were brutal to each other.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I mean, you see that Peter doesn't appear to hold it against Richard, right? Like he was pretty
Well,
faithful.
I think he's starting to come around a little bit now.
Right. Right. And I think you see that a lot. I'm telling you guys, I think that a lot of these guys that talked mad crap about Richard and said he was a scammer and whatnot, after seeing Heck's price performance and seeing a lot of the calls that he's nailed, I think a lot of them, they just don't want to bet against Richard. And
Why would you?
yeah, at this point, like I don't, even if you're not in love, like I don't see how you can bet against the guy. It just doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah. On the Sami interview, or that's in the last night when he was breaking the interview down, and also Johnny Chaos had did a bit of a rant this morning on this. Is that because on that interview they're talking about how we're a cult and Richard's manipulating us to be this cult like community. Like, well, we got news for you. Being cult like is the marketing. Marketing is influence, and Richard is an amazing marketer because he's a businessman. And Bitcoin, when it first came out, Sammy had talked about this, or Sami. He talked about how like Bitcoin, it was the cult of Satoshi, and everybody was calling it a cult. And that community that Bitcoin formed is what made the number go up. Million X, 6 million X, whatever it did, from its bottom to top. It was the cult-like community that did that, and especially in the very beginning. It's all marketing.
Right.
That's all it is. We live in a world where we get influenced into what to buy and then what to sell. It's just how it works. Me and you, Dane, we got pretty good at sales, talking to homeowners all the time and trying to influence them on why they should sell their house to us. It's all it is. And Richard's gotten amazing at that. And I'm blessed and proud to know that we have a businessman like that in our corner who is steamrolling the market for us. And I think it's going to be amazing, man.
Right. And to your point, I mean, you see it all the time where inferior products outsell superior products by landslides
the time
because they have larger followings with better marketing. And I'll be honest with you, like I would prefer to see a faster chain. Like I would prefer, you get on testnet and I'm like, man, it feels like using Ethereum. It's pretty much the same, which other than the gas fees and a little bit quicker.
Do you know the faster delegated proof of stake chains give up security for that? There's security risk they're giving.
No, that's so I'm glad that you point that out. There's
you
more
want speed
security
or
risk.
security.
Right. And so like, I'm good with it. I'm happy with it. But to that point, I think it's really interesting that even with the faster change, I would love for it to be faster. You just don't see the adoption on those like maybe you could otherwise. If there was the community behind it really rallying and carrying Pulse Chain, the community is going to carry Pulse Chain to the world. And I think that we're in the right place at the right time. It's just going to be bonkers. It'll be fun.
It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Being a cult is making people rich. I'll take that. Yeah. People are getting rugged the opposite way. They're getting rugged into mad gains. Please, sir.
Yep.
I'd like some more.
Please, sir, rug me into mad gains all day long.
Right. Isaac makes a great point. Richard tried to be nice in the first debate, and the second, he was done with it. The second he gave it to him. Absolutely.
I'll have to go back and watch those.
Good to have you here.
Hey, what's going on, Crispy?
It's crazy how ETH price is pumping when users have their ETH unlocked. Exit liquidity before the dump. It's interesting. Yeah, post in the comments. What are you guys making of this? I thought that we'd see more of a pullback, but yeah, it's the race.
There was people on the sidelines waiting to buy ETH and stake it because they wanted the comfortability, the comfort of knowing that they can unstake it whenever they want. And so there's people right now, there's more people flooding in, buying ETH to stake it than there's people flooding out and dumping. That's what's going on right now.
Right. The question
didn't
is
call
that
that.
hold?
I
Do
didn't-
we see a pullback or do we see
I don't think we're going to see a pullback.
You don't
And
think
I didn't
so?
call this. Gamma did.
Really?
Yeah, this was Gamma's call, so I can't take credit for this, but we're watching it happen in real time now. So
Okay. Very cool. What's up, Crypto Gains? Good to have you on. Yeah, we appreciate you guys being here. Man, I think that, are there any other things you want to touch on, Corey?
no, that's it. Yeah, we
We're-
touched on everything. We touched on EPhiat.
We're all patiently waiting for mainnet. Yep.
Yeah, V4 guys, it should be any day now. The main thing that they're going to be looking to fix is obviously the validator rewards. I was doing the math on the old rewards would have been a 0.03% roughly when I was crunching the numbers. 0.03%, not like move the decimal. There's a percent there, right? It's almost nothing. And so this will actually take it from anywhere from a 3 to 30%, depending on the usage of the chain, how many validators will be, holding consensus to the blockchain. And so that's a lot more attractive. I think it's going to land somewhere like how the Avalanche chain is. Avalanche gets around 10% in validator rewards. ETH is around 5%. And so if I'm getting 10% on my pulse, I'm extremely happy.
Right.
And and
how does that work? So talk a little bit more about that, Corey. How does that work in regards to the gas fees? Because the validator rewards and the gas fees, they're two separate things, are they not? Where you go and you pay a fee, you pay a network fee, and then you pay a gas fee, and the network fee is what's being changed so that there's higher APY. Is that an accurate way to frame it?
Yeah, that's an accurate way to frame it. Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yep.
So gas fee is cheap, network fee is a little bit more expensive, but still, super reasonable, really cheap to transact. Excited about that. And you have to have this. I'm blown away by how many people were mad about the V4, but they need to stick the landing. You can't. I think there's so many people in the Richard Hart ecosystem that just expect people to do stuff for free. And that's not how adoption happens. Real world adoption does not happen long-term in big, massive leaps and bounds by people working for free. And so you have to have enough juice in the tank for it to be interesting for people to come over and validate.
Absolutely. Me and you are going to be validating. And why are we going to keep running a node validator and putting economic energy into that place when we could take that and do something else with it? If we're only gaining 0.03%, we're not going to want to do that.
Yes, agreed.
We
would do it. We have all the hardware. We would do it anyways because we want to support the network.
Yeah, but we're not going to be as thrilled. Like maybe we do a couple. It's not going to be.
You're doing it for free. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, this is a great point. Not worried at all. Cardano was on testnet for 4 years and traded live with no smart contracts until a year ago. Still did 100x. Very interesting. Great point. This is a funny one. So have you guys seen Richard's apparent brother out there on TikTok and YouTube streams claiming that Richard stole all of his Monero? Have you seen this, Corey?
I have seen it. Do you see though? He's got an announcement coming out today on something that he's working on or doing. I don't know if it's gonna be a coin or
$1,000 says it's some stupid something or other. He's been he's outrage marketing as well, to try to get more attention, to be able to shill something stupid.
Yeah,
that's my guess. Who knows?
If the news is supposed to drop today, so we'll see what comes of it. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Isaac says we waited 2 years for Hex. I'll wait 4 years for Pull to Easy. We don't have a choice. We are waiting either way.
I hope it's not
money.
4 years, Isaac.
We're 2 years. Please don't let it be 4 years.
Yeah, maybe a couple more months would be good. And let's catch this before the next bull run. The next Bitcoin halving is March. Between March and April of 2024. We don't know the exact date because it's dependent on the hash, and so. Let's get it out before then. And, a good few months before then would be awesome. I think the end of the year, I think mid-May is going to be when it's going to come out, but no later by end of the year.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm hopeful. It'll be fun. So yeah, that was good. We'll let me look. So yeah, tune in. We have CryptoCon next week. We also have we needed to reschedule with Corey Costa, so he'll
Corey
jump
Cuss will
on.
be coming back on.
That'll be fun to have him back on. And we need to do some. We'll do some open mic shows too, or we'll share the link, and you guys can start jumping in. We could talk about some different things. I know there's been some questions about some real estate stuff. We could do some of those type of streams. We could answer that type of.
That would be fun
stuff.
because
That'd be fun.
Discourse Syndicate does that every Friday night, and I get on there sometimes and then hop in, and they're mainly just talking about Hex the whole time and Pulse Chain. But it'd be kind of fun to do that with our community here, and that way they can probe a little about the real estate space and inquire, because they need to start learning about this if they plan on rolling some of those gains out in 2025. Where's going to be probably some of the best place to park that money? What's going to be real estate? I guess, like we said it over and over and over again, it's use crypto as a wealth creation tool, which right now is the best opportunity where we're at, and then use real estate as a wealth preservation tool, especially if you guys are not living in somewhere like Puerto Rico or like Panama, like Randy Hilarski. He doesn't have to worry too much about it. But if you're in the U.S., what's some of the best way to offset some of those taxes from those gains? It's going to be real estate, guys, and then that way that money is stable in real estate. You're parking it somewhere safe, and it's going to produce you some more passive income while you're holding for the next bear market to come through. So it's a perfect play. And here's my projection, Dane. I'm going to do the Richard Hart call on real estate. I think the real estate bottom is Q4 2024.
Really? Why do you think that?
That's just, all the charts and research and, the different, it's my thesis. This is where I think by the time the Fed gets done raising the interest rates and wrecking the markets and going through the pivot, after the pivot happens, that's when you see the actual crash coming in. Real estate's always the last one to be affected. We are still on the top of the mountain, if you will. If you look at the chart overall in real estate, we have barely gone over the top. We are still on an all-time high. And right now, it's just we have the pricing hasn't caught up to the demand yet. Where like here in Phoenix, offered a contract year over year is down 60%, but pricing is not reflecting that.
Right.
Why? It's because real estate's so slow to reflect. And so, yeah, that's my call. I think it's Q4.
Are you selling your house in Arizona to move to Puerto Rico, or are you going to hold it?
I'm selling my rental properties. You know that for crypto. I am selling my rental properties because we're on these. I got one more. I have two more closings coming. I had one close last week, and
Nice.
I got a good chunk of change out of that one. Where it's going to Pulse Chain. And
right.
Then, I got two more. I'll probably. The thing with the rental property in Puerto Rico is I do want to come back here my off months, because in Puerto Rico you only have to be there for 6 months and a day.
Right.
And so it would be nice because I have family here. I got family in Tucson. I have my brother, my niece, my dad, and so it would be nice to come back here. I got a lot of friends here too, so I'll probably end up keeping the property and Airbnb in it. Is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
So I'm starting to liquidate some stuff though. Unfortunately, I've just sold my cold plunge tank. I love that thing. That thing's a beast. I spent 10 grand on it. That thing is monster, and I sold it for half that, which I'm okay with it. So they're gonna come pick that up. I'm not moving that thing to Puerto Rico. I'm gonna obviously sell the Corvette, and I'm gonna start liquidating stuff around and making my life a lot easier to move back and forth, where I don't have all this crap.
Right.
So it's going to be cool, man. What about you? You said you were thinking about selling your house?
Yeah, I think I'm going to sell mine. I just don't like holding stuff if you feel like there's a good chance that things are going to dip. So
I think you're selling the top, bro. I think you're making a good decision. I don't think you're going to regret it. You can always buy back in later there in Utah at the bottom.
Right.
And so, no, I think you're making a good decision. I think we have a lot more pain to go in real estate. It just takes it so long.
It's slow. I mean, in 2008, it took 2 years to find the bottom. In 2010.
Yeah. Imagine, if you will, guys, we are peaking in the crypto markets, in a bull run. We're at some kind of market top, and real estate is at its bottom. And you can roll gains over from the top on one asset class to put into the bottom of another asset class is just crazy to think about that. I think we could see that play out. It's not a guarantee, but we could see it play out. And I saw a Life Changer here, Life Changer 333. Are you guys still moving the PR? Just got back from the Let's Connect. Yeah, Life Changer. I'll be out there May 22nd. I'm going to the Hex conference. If you guys are going to the Hex conference, I'd love to see you there. So I'll be out there too for that in Miami. And then after that, I'm going to Puerto Rico to live there for a month or whatever. I don't have a return ticket. Taking the wife out there, taking the baby, and then we're just going to hang out. So if you're out there, we can definitely link up, have coffee, and it'll be a lot of fun. When I'm planning on meeting up with all the other Hexicans out there. There's a lot of them that live out there. It's like over 30 on the island. I feel like that's where Hexico's at. It's over in Puerto Rico, man.
And some of the big guys too. So that's cool.
Yeah.
In fact, Corey, maybe tomorrow we should just do an open mic show. That'd be fun. We don't have any guests tomorrow, so maybe we just plan on doing that.
Let's try it.
Yeah, we'll try it. So tune in tomorrow, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, 9 o'clock Arizona time. Yeah, feel free to tune in tomorrow. We'll do an open mic show. We'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I would love it. I love it. Yeah. So
I can house sit for you in PR. I don't need any. I don't think we'll need any house sitters in the Airbnb the first year. But the second year, yeah, you've got to buy real estate by the second year that you're there to be able to qualify for all the tax savings. So, gosh, the timing of all this is fabulous because year 2 will be 2025 for when you and I are out there, and that'll be when we're taking profits anyways. You can go buy a house there. You can buy a house in Arizona or
maybe they're at a real estate bottom.
Yeah.
Real estate bottom, roll those gains in. Oh my God. And then you let the real estate market creep up. And then by that time you have this crypto bear market coming down. And then maybe you take some HELOCs out of your house, or you start selling off some real estate again to put back in the crypto bear market. Oh my God. It could be the play of the century if it works out that way. I don't know if it will. This is just fun to flirt with the idea. We're not giving any financial advice. We're just guys on the internet speculating for our own interest. It's entertainment. But man, if it worked out like that.
Well, I'm telling you, I think I'm going to be able to. I have a lot here in Utah that we were going to build on last year, but with the market going all funky and the opportunity in crypto, we put that off. We pushed that off. It'll be a nuts house. It'll be pretty freaking crazy. And I think I'm going to be able to build that thing for a half to a third of what I was going to be able to build it last year or this year if the market does what I think it's going to do.
Oh, that's a lot of money, especially when you think about that money compounded.
Oh, right? A ton of money.
Yeah,
a small fortune.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's literally your legacy wealth you can hand down to your kids.
Yeah.
If you chose to, right? Unless you want to do the whole Bill Gates thing and don't give them anything.
Yeah. I got so much stuff I need to sell before this bull run. Oh man, we're gonna have to bring out a dumpster at my house to empty it out to go to Puerto Rico.
Us too, man. My garage from my failed e-com business that I had, my garage is full of stuff from that, and I'm like, okay. My wife's trying to sell it, through her Chinese connections, so she's selling things here and there. I mean, I got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these products, and I'm like, babe, you're not doing even a dent in this. I'm just gonna have to throw it all away or something.
Throw it all away or give it away. You could post it in Facebook. But that's the problem, man. You go and you post stuff like that. I hate selling stuff on Facebook. I hate posting
too much work.
It's even worse to give it away for free because then people get all angry if they don't like it's the worst.
You know what's not work is waiting for bulk trash day and just putting it out all front.
Seriously.
Hey guys. Pain free.
Exactly. So yeah, let's do that. We'll do our first open mic show tomorrow, so that'll be fun. Tune in tomorrow if you guys want to hop in. We'll be happy to share the link. You can come in. We can talk real estate, we can talk crypto, whatever you guys want. That'll be a lot of fun.
How they can kind of coincide together.
Our group, we can talk about that too. Our guys are crushing it. We've got almost 85 people in there right now, and that's been a lot of fun. So yeah, hit us up tomorrow, and that'll be fun, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
See you guys.